Good day everyone. Our topic for today is all about zeros of polynomials. I am Sir Regan Junicio, a mathematics teacher. Now let's proceed to zeros of polynomial function. Okay, someone asked me this question. This is sa mga grade 10. So ang tanong, since nung nabasa na yung module, Sir, what is the difference between zeros and roots? So ano to pinakaiba nun? So here's my answer. So baka kasi tanong din to ng iba. So ito yung aking sagot. So when we say zeros of polynomials or polynomial function, this refers to the value of x that makes the polynomial function equal to 0. Or simply, we have p of x or q of x or f of x must be equals to 0. Ano naman yung roots? So roots of a polynomial refers to the value of x that makes a polynomial equation equal to 0. So when you say zeros, technically, zeros referring to a function wherein roots is referring to an equation. So, but again, yung dalawa na yan ay almost the same lang. So, halos magkamukha lang sila. Pakita ko kung bakit sila magkamukha. Okay? Magkamukha sila in a sense kasi pag nag-solve tayo ng function, ginagawa natin siyang equation para isolve yung value ng x. That makes the zeros ng polynomial saka yung roots ng polynomial is equal or the same value lang. So, example, let's have p of x equals to x squared minus 1. So, ngayon, maghahanap tayo ng value ng x kung saan yung x squared minus 1 mag-equal to 0. Kumbaga, gamit tayo ng, let's say, remainder theorem. Okay? So, dito, meron tayong dalawang value ng x kung saan siya mag-0. So, we have negative 1. So, if we plug in negative 1 sa lahat ng x, so negative 1 squared minus 1, this becomes 0. So, negative 1 is a 0 of this polynomial function. Also, if we plug in 1, so 1 squared minus 1 will give us 0. So, yung negative 1 saka 1 is the 0 of this polynomial function. Okay? Now, let's have the equation x squared minus 1 equals to 0. So, this is a function, this is an equation. Now, itong equation na to, pwede natin siyang i-factor. Okay? Kung medyo nakalimutan na, pwede nating i-search yung pangalan ko sa YouTube and pinost ko doon yung mga lessons, especially meron doon na factoring. Okay? So, papakita natin yan mamaya. So, we have x plus 1 times x minus 1 equals to 0. So, difference of 2 square. Now, zero property. So, pwede mong since x plus 1 times x minus 1 equals to 0, so meaning x plus 1 can be equal to 0 or x minus 1 can be equal to 0. So, yung x plus 1 can be equal to 0, so x must be negative 1. So, para mag-0 to, x must be negative 1. Next, tong kabila, para mag-0 yung x minus 1, x must be equals to positive 1. So, therefore, negative 1 saka positive 1 yung roots nung equation na to. So, as you can see, negative 1, positive 1, negative 1, positive 1. So, yung 0 saka yung roots ng polynomial is the same value. Okay? So, pagkasamahin ko na siya, yung zeros and roots, para tumatak sa isip natin na pag sinabing zeros and roots, they are just the same value. Okay? But technically speaking, ang zeros referring to a function, wherein roots is referring to an equation. So, hopefully, nasagot ko yung tanong. So, let's move on. So, zeros of polynomial function. The number of zeros depends on the degree of the polynomial. So, the degree for a polynomial with one variable like x is the largest exponent of the variable. Let's have an example. So, we have f of x equals to x cubed plus 2x squared minus x plus 7. Now, ano ba yung pinakamataas na exponent ng x? So, eto, may raised to 1 yan. So, invisible yung 1. Meron tayong raised to 2, meron tayong raised to 3. So, since 3 yung pinakamataas, so ibig sabihin, the function or the degree of the function is 3 or third degree. And that's it. Very simple. Okay? Now, merong special name bawat degree ng isang function. Okay? So, ang gagawin lang natin ay yung from 0 to 10. Kapag 0 degree, ang tawag natin doon is a constant function. Okay? And yung mga constant like 1, 2, 7, negative 19, those are constants. So, constant function. Kapag 1, so halimbawa, f of x equals to 3x raised to 1 lang yun. So, ang tawag doon is linear. So, nung grade 7, na-encounter nyo na siya, yung linear function. Pag ginarap natin siya, is a line. Okay? Next, kapag raised to 2, like f of x equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, familiar sa inyo yun, ang tawag doon is quadratic function. Kapag raised to 3, ang tawag is cubic function. Raised to 4 is quartic function. Raised to 5 is quintic function. So, habang tumataas yung kanyang degree, medyo nababawasan yung kanyang application. So, by the way, raised to 6, highest exponent is 6, is hexic function. Raised to 7 is heptic function. 8 is octic function. 9 is nonic function. And 10 is decic function. So, importante rin na alam natin yung kanilang mga pangalan. Okay? So, we can extend this hanggang ilang number, but at this moment, dun muna tayo sa 1 to 10. Okay? Now, let's have an example. So, determine the number of roots or zeros. Again, pikasamahin ko siya para ma-remind nyo agad pag nadinig nyo yung roots, narinig nyo yung zeros, alam nyo na yun mismo yung kukuhanin natin. At alam nyo na magkamukha lang sila. Okay? So, number 1. F of x equals to 4x minus x raised to 5 plus 10x raised to 9. So, solution. So, una, since hindi magkakasunod yung kanilang exponent, i-arrange muna natin siya in order. Kumbaga, gamitan natin ang standard form niya. Okay? So, mauna yung highest exponent, pababa ng pababa. So, raised to 9, raised to 5, and raised to 1. So, therefore, 9 yung may pinakamataas na exponent ng x. So, titingin lang tayo sa variable x. So, 9 yung highest exponent niya. Therefore, f of x is of the 9th degree or a nonic function. Therefore, it has 9 roots or zeros. Kung gaano kataas yung, or kung gaano yung degree niya, ganon din karami yung roots or zeros, meron siya. Okidoki, and we're done. Number 2. So, fx equals to x raised to 45 plus 1. Solution. So, notice, the largest exponent of the variable x is 45. So, ibig sabihin, ito ay nasa 45th degree function. Therefore, it has 45 roots or zeros. So, kung gaano kataas yung degree, ganun din kadami yung roots and zeros. And we're done. Number 3, f of x equals to x plus 1 times x squared minus 3 cubed times 2x plus 1 raised to 2. So, we have the solution. So, una, pag nakita tayo ng raised to 3, ibig sabihin, minultiply sa sarili ng 3 beses. Nakita tayo ng raised to 2, minultiply yung 2x plus 1 ng 2 beses. So, pwede natin siyang i-expand muna like this. Now, since ang goal lang natin ay hanapin lahat o yung exponent ng variable x, so hindi natin siya kailangang i-multiply lahat. Ang kailangan ko lang i-multiply dyan, yung merong mga x. Kasi yun lang yung may kakaroon ng pinakamataas na exponent ng variable x. Nakukuha? So, kapag pinag-multiply ko itong x squared, itong x squared, itong x squared, itong 2x, so yung x lang yung kailangan ko dyan, at saka yung x, dun sa 2x. Now, since sila ay lahat ay variable x, so pag nag-multiply tayo, ina-add lang natin yung exponent. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kailangan ko lang i-add lahat ng exponent niyan. So, ito ay raised to 1, raised to 2, raised to 3. So, we have 1, 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 1, plus 1. And therefore, pag in-add natin lahat yan, the answer is 9. Therefore, f of x is of 9th degree or a nonic function. Therefore, it has 9 roots or zeros. And we're done.